So because you've got so much sugar in your system, when you're urinating, you tend to be prone to having thrush. So that's what, and it's a bit itchy, so you walk out. And it's just increased hunger. Sometimes you're feeling hungry as well. And cuts and wounds take longer. So that's why they say be very careful when you cut yourself. Okay? And diabetes is diagnosed by the blood test. It's a blood test that you go. So when you go, if you've not had one, ask, can I have a blood test to see if I'm diabetic? And it's called a HbA1c. And that's the average of an activity. Who exercises or does activities? And I don't mean you have to all be gym buddies. It's about movement. Do you walk? Who does what to incorporate activity into their life? Walkers? Do we have walkers? Yeah? Do we have dancers? I love to dance. So do we have those that like to wind their waist and go down and then can't get back up like me and walk around like this afterwards? Or do we have those that does aerobic classes, swimming? When it says exercise, a lot of people go, oh, I don't like it. They think it's gym, it's hardware. Exercise is just physical activity where you just have to move your body. When you're hoovering, it's just like me, just like this. Go like this. When you're washing the windows, just do like this. Or washing up, put a bit of, because all it is getting your heart rate up. Your heart needs to be up, that you'll feel a bit puffed when you're walking. Not out of breath, because you're doing too much, but just enough to elevate your blood. So there's lots of activities out there that you can do, aqua aerobics, things like that. Aqua aerobics is good for those that have back issues or mobility issues because you're in the water and that carries the water. The water carries your weight. And self-care and monitoring. So it's about knowing your numbers, which is like your blood pressure. So a normal blood pressure reading, they say is 120 over 80. So you make sure you get your regular checks, your blood pressure, your cholesterol. We've talked about blood sugars. When you go do a pee test, when you ask you for a urine sample, they're looking for sugar and they're looking for blood. So it's always important to ask these things. And also kidneys, they test your kidneys because diabetes brings along with its friends. So it often brings along kidney disease, hypertension, things like that. So you've got to make sure you're on top of it. And if you don't understand, ask the question. Foot check. When you have your sugars done, your sugars tested, you're also supposed to get your foot checked. Because the same like the...
Here's a solution coming to that. Eat your vegetables first, because that's fiber. And that will slow down the water. So always eat your vegetables first, okay? And your salads. So, for those of you not eating vegetables and salads on your plate, you'll have a job eating it first because it ain't there. So I'd say get that on your plate, okay? Secondly, eat your proteins, okay? Like your meat. And third, or last, eat carbohydrates, but limit the carbohydrates, okay? And if you feel full, you might not want to eat carbohydrates, okay? In that order, you will not have the problem with the spike, because the fiber goes in first, and then when the rest comes behind it, it doesn't spike, right? Okay? Are you going to remember this? Ooh. Is that good story? Yeah. Should we use some targets, yeah?
Can you explain what a carbohydrate is? Because a lot of people don't know what a carbohydrate is.
Carbohydrates are, in the simplest way, sugars. Sugars are carbohydrates. They come in different forms, but that is a broad classification. So when someone says cut your carbs, your carbohydrates, they're talking about cutting your sugar in various forms. Okay? I am not trying to jump into it deep, but if you want to talk more about it, I can do that. Now, just to give you a scale, in the grand scheme worldwide, the International Diabetes Federation states that by 2030, that's only 5 years away, we're going to have worldwide, between the age of 20 and 79 diabetics here, 642 million. That's 10 times basically the amount of people in Britain, worldwide diabetics. So a lot of diabetics here. But they also predict by 2045, that's 15 years later, it's going to go up to 783. Okay? That's another 140 million people. Would you say we've got a problem going on?
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring that statistics in is worldwide. Now, I want you to focus on yourself and your health and the health of your family, but we need to get focused on what's happening internationally. It's not just the UK, not just the Caribbean. And remember that when we are cooking, we are influencing the meal for the family. So if you make a smarter choice, your family's going to have a smarter choice, okay? If you make a wrong choice and get it wrong, you're setting up the family for diabetes and other instances, okay? Here's a solution coming through now. Eat your vegetables first, because that's fine. And that will slow down the water. So always eat your vegetables first, okay? And your salads. So, for those of you not eating vegetables and salads on your plate, you'll have a job eating it first because it ain't there. So I'd say get that on your plate, okay? Secondly, eat your proteins, okay? Like your meat. And third, or last, eat carbohydrates, but limit the carbohydrates, okay? And if you feel full, you might not want to eat carbohydrates, okay? In that order, you will not have the problem with the spike, because the fiber goes in first, and then when the rest comes behind it, it doesn't spike, right? Okay? Are you going to remember this? Ooh. Is everybody still awake?
Yeah.
Should we use some targets, yeah?
Can you explain what a carbohydrate is? Because a lot of people don't know what a carbohydrate is.
Carbohydrates are, in the simplest way, sugars. Sugars are carbohydrates. They come in different forms, but that is a broad classification. So when someone says cut your carbs, your carbohydrates, they're talking about cutting your sugar in various forms. Okay? I am not trying to jump into it deep, but if you want to talk more about it, I can do that. Now, just to give you a scale, in the grand scheme worldwide, the International Diabetes Federation states that by 2030, that's only 5 years away, we're going to have worldwide, between the age of 20 and 79 diabetics here, 642 million. That's 10 times basically the amount of people in Britain, worldwide diabetics. So a lot of diabetics here. But they also predict by 2045, that's 15 years later, it's going to go up to 783. Okay? That's another 140 million people. Would you say we've got a problem going on?
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring that statistics in is worldwide. Now, I want you to focus on yourself and your health and the health of your family, but we need to get focused on what's happening internationally. It's not just the UK, not just the Caribbean. And remember that when we are cooking, we are influencing the meal for the family. So if you make a smarter choice, your family's going to have a smarter choice, okay? If you make a wrong choice and get it wrong, you're setting up the family for diabetes and other instances, okay? Book here. You want to say a few words?
Kevin, I just want to say a big thank you for loving our community. Thank you so much for the wonderful teachings. After this session, I feel confident on how I'm going to manage my stress levels, my dieting, and obviously I'm going to keep on supporting my community, and we need to work together. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
And we're still growing now in helping people. And in the process of helping people, I'm going to give away one of these books, by the way, we're going to have a competition. In the process of helping people, what I discovered is that sometimes in life, the people that are helping us are the ones that are suffering themselves. So for example, does anyone know what occupation has the highest suicide rate? Almost. You're good, you're good. Doctors, you've got it. Doctors are some of the highest suicide rates. Yeah? And so I'm going to go through some of these very quickly. Because as I said, we haven't got much time. I'd love to have you for the whole day. It'll be fun, I promise.
Suicidal rate are very high. I'm not knowing that.
Yes.
They're so happy and
Yes, exactly. There's a lot behind that as well. So that's a whole other conversation that we could go into.
Have they determined why?
Yes, I've got this all in my book. I've studied it all, and it's what it is. This book is the first book they've said ever in history that's looked at it in fine detail, and that's why now the Met Police has called me in the next few days. The US Embassy called me in, and just teachers. I've been lecturing at UCL University, so now that it's just been widespread that they really tapped into my studies about it. And I'll just quickly touch on it here as well. BBC's called me in to talk about it on BBC, and just all these different organisations, the National Social Workers Magazine. So these are some of the occupations, by the way. So occupations that's got the highest stress rates. Do you recognise any of those occupations, or do you know anyone that works in any of the occupations right here has got a very, very high stress rate?
Yes.
Yeah? You recognise a family member or yourselves at some point? Yes. And the reason why is because they suffer from what we call secondary trauma and compassion fatigue. And it goes a bit deeper as well. Also, what I discovered as well, which is interesting. Yes, released to, but nevertheless. Yeah. And then also, you've got the occupation that it talks about in this book as well, that's got the highest depression rates. So nurses, etc. Very high depression rates. Social workers. And that was very interesting because I interviewed thousands and thousands of people that are in these occupations, and I interviewed every single one of them and researched their findings. And after the 5th year of my studies, I started to see that there was a pattern that was reoccurring with all of them. No matter what country you was in, they all seem to be vibrating in the same frequency. But that's a whole other conversation for another day, which is really powerful. And the occupation that's got the highest suicide rates, as we spoke about before. So you've got surgeons there. Why do you think surgeons have some of the highest suicide rates? Why do you believe?
because of the work they're doing.
What would you point at exactly?
Well, if you're a surgeon,
Yes.
although you know the body parts,
Yes.
but it's actually when you're doing the surgery, you'll be learning a lot of things, and any slight error,
Exactly.
it throws you right out of
Exactly. If someone dies on your watch, family members crying on your shoulders, the pressure of it, there's so much going on, And so when they tend to make mistakes, or when they tend to go through what they're going for, when they're working on someone, they lose them because it's God's will. They take it on they put it on their own shoulders. So there's so much in it. We can talk about this all day long, and it's very interesting. And so it wasn't just about, for me, what do I learn about these people, it's about solutions afterwards. What solutions do we have? And my world is about solutions. When people call me in, I'm solution based more than talk about the problems alone. I'm not the news. I'm a solution based person. I don't want to just give you the traumas and the trials and tribulations. I'm also about solutions as well. Yeah? So what's happened is my work managed to help so much people, as I said, managed to get into the US Embassy, and they wanted to know more about my findings, and from that, all different government bodies have been coming to me as well, and we've helped nearly 3 million people globally since 2010. And now last year I won an award as well, at the Power of Man Awards, for my work towards mental health and my contribution towards it as well. And just like the 360 team and the 360 group, it just came from my interest of loving my community. It's not about money, it's not about riches, it's about our commitment to yourselves, you know. And we pick up our own traumas in the process of it. You know, when we sit down with people when they're going through their pains, we receive those pains as well, we feel it as well. So this is, you know, what we're doing today is because our love for our community, our love for yourselves. Yeah? Alright? Right, so, the 360 lifestyle team and group, I'm so happy that I'm a part of that group. After all my years of my studies, I looked around and I wanted to find who was really genuine. It wasn't about them trying to grab money from governments. It wasn't about them trying to find a name. I wanted to find people who were genuinely loving and caring and they love their community. And you normally know that when no one's looking. What is that person like when no one's looking? Are they just about what strategies they can put in place to benefit from themselves? Or are they about, I love my community every single day? And so that's why I joined up with the 360 team and the 360 group overall. And we've been doing as much as we can to save lives. Yeah, and that's what we're doing on a daily basis. So let me go into it now. Right. So, here we go. So we set up a 28-day health plan. And it's not just about diabetes, by the way. It's about your mood, it's about your emotions, it's about your health overall. And sometimes you may not think that it's for you, but your family's watching you. You are the legacy of your families. 50 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now, your name and your picture is going to be on someone's wall and they're going to say, that's grandma, that's granddad, that's auntie. So you are the recipient of your legacy and you pass down your legacy. And sometimes, I sat down with my mother and my father. My mother and my father's 85 years old now. And what I've done, and I advise it if you're up for it, that's a challenge for you. I got my camera and I said, Mom, Dad, I'm going to film you, not just for me, but for my grandchildren and for their grandchildren. I don't want to guess it, because that's what we've all done, right? Sometimes we guess certain things like, yeah, I'm sure my mother lived Clarendon, and we just get it wrong. And it just gets passed down in Chinese whispers, as they say, and you get it wrong. But if you have to film it yourself and say, this was my life, this was my journey, this is what my mother was like. I remember my father being like this. If you was to do that, that means 100 years from now, what you say is correct. So just say to your family members, get your camera out and film me. I'm going to tell you about my childhood. And sometimes it's traumatizing for us, but they need to know. And that's where our confidence is found. That's where our power is found, when we know where we come from. Yeah, does that make sense? Will you agree?
Yeah.
Yes? Some of you are like, no. Yeah, you agree? You're doing it. See, you got to, congratulations, you've got to. It's amazing. So please do that. It's important for your legacy. That just film yourself and say, this is for my great-grandchildren. This is what I went through. Sometimes it gets tiring, so do it in like 3-4 parts, 30 minutes and 30 minutes and 30 minutes. And then once you've compiled it all together, you know it's not just about the amazing things you've done, but now it's about the fact that it gives your family confidence. This is what grandma was like, this is what granddad was like. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into it a bit more. So we were talking about sugar before, and we're going to do a competition. Whoever gets the most questions right, I'm going to actually gift them a book today. Yeah? So are we ready for it?
Yes.
Yeah, this side of the room's going to win, I think. This side of the room's like, I don't know if there's more light on this side of the room. I don't know what it is, yeah? Okay, alright. So let's do a competition. So sugar on the teeth would create what?
Cavity.
Okay.
The cake?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, we got two here. Okay, right. So we got two here. Okay. Let's see for ourselves. Can anyone see what that says? Yeah? Okay. So that's 1-1 so far. Yeah? Francine, you're going to keep note because someone's going to cheat. It always happens. Someone's going to cheat. Right? Okay. Right, so next one is eyes. Here's a good one. Having too much sugar does what to your eyes? Great. Got it exactly. Are you a nurse? Because meeting going on already. You ain't got a phone, you're not Googling now. Right. Yep, have a go.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Alright, which we called blindness, too much sugar. Okay? Alright, 2, 1. Come on, we gotta get in there. Okay. Right, so another one. Too much sugar on the brain.
Dementia. Alzheimer's.
That straight in there. 2, 2. Is this like a team thing, or is it like one team versus the other team is just individuals? Alright, cool. Alright, so number 4. Too much sugar on the art.
Coronary artery.
Heart disease.
Sorry? Let's have a look. You're going to see?
We said coronary heart disease.
Oh, did you said the heart disease before?
Coronary heart disease.
That's what you said? Oh, I've got to give 1 each then. Okay, you're right, you've got 3, you've got 2, you've got 1, okay? Alright, okay. See, closed mouths don't get fed, you know, you have to talk up. Yeah? Alright, let's go again. Alright, number 5. Liver. Too much sugar in the liver. What is that?
Fatty liver.
Cirrhosis is every other.
Fatty liver.
Red level. It's a lot of things.
Okay, let's see. Fatty liver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that right. Alright, yeah, right, because you got 1. You got 1 as well. Yeah, I'll give you another 1, okay? Alright, so we've got 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. Okay, cool. We're getting there. Okay, so next one. Okay, too much sugar on the kidneys. Oh, it gets trickier now, right?
Kidney disease. Yes. Kidney neuropathy.
Okay, kidney disease. Right, due to excess sugar filtering through the blood. So you actually got that one. You was, yeah. Okay, good. All right, so we're almost there. Then the next one is this good to know, by the way? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, brilliant. Oh, you've woken up. You were sleeping before. Someone said she's snoring. I heard it all. And now you're back in the team. Welcome on board. Alright, okay, let's go again. Alright, so too much sugar connected to the skin. What happens to the skin?
Alright.
Itching.
Psoriasis, whatever you want.
I'm looking for 2 more other ones. Go on.
Dermatitis. Thrush, yeah.
Right, 5, 4, 3, 2, aging. You're really awake now. Okay, so excuse on aging by breaking down the collagen as well, and also wrinkles and acne as well. Yes? Okay, so you've got 1 as well, okay? Alright. So we've got about 3 more left. So who's winning that? Who's winning so far? You're winning, you've got 3, right? Okay, so let's get our energies up. Let's just Anthony here a second. Let's get some energy up. Up. Okay, alright. Here we go. Alright, okay. Let's go again. Right, so too much sugar does what to your mood?
Depression. Anxiety.
Mood swing, depression, you're right. I like the fact that it's with mood swings. So I'm going to give that one to you. You're right as well. But we're going to give it to mood swings. Yeah? So you're right, it causes depression, which is correct. But also mood swings. People just swing from one to another. They're on a high and they're on a low. That's what sugar does. Especially when you see with children as well. Yeah? Too much sugar. Okay? Alright, so sometimes loving your family members can actually cause you depression and mood swings because you're giving them sugary treats of some sort, yeah? Okay, so next one, we're almost there.
Obesity.
Yeah, we've got 2 here. We've got 2. Yeah. You're so confident. You're filming while you say like obesity. Obesity. Okay, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so you've got how many now?
3.
You got 3. Oh, you got to step up. I see you celebrating before, you know. Alright. So 3, and then we've got some 2s, and we've got a 1.
Who's counting? Who's counting?
I'm counting.
You're not listening at 5 here.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. So the final ones, we'll get Francine and Leo to count, okay? So I've got nothing to do with it. I've got no horse in the race. Okay, so let's go again, okay? Alright. Alright, so the next one is the final one. Who's the diabetes?
Yeah.
It causes, yes, diabetes.
Yeah.
Yeah? And this is the results of what? Say it with me after 3. All of these are the results of excess, 1, 2, 3, sugar. Okay? Right. So, we've got 2 winners there. We have to have a tiebreak at some point. Okay. Now, the game we just played.
Can I say one more that could be added is amputation.
Yeah.
Amputations, a lot
Yes.
of amputations
Yes.
come from people who've
Yes.
got diabetes.
Yes, exactly. The results of it. The results
My
of it.
father lost 2 in his legs, one above the knee, one below.
So I'm so sorry to hear that, and this relates to this next part here, and this one relates to this person on the left. How many of these answers do you think this person on the left had? How many do you reckon got correct?
All of them.
Yeah? Okay. Anyone else? Okay, how about this person on the right? How many do you reckon she got correct?
None.
And both of them were my siblings, and they both died because of diabetes.
Oh, wow.
So it's a game until it's not a game anymore.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The importance of it.
Wow.
Yeah? So, I love them dearly, and they both passed at obviously different times because of diabetes. Yeah? Because they didn't know the answers to the game. Yeah? Life is a game. But when people lose in some games, the game is over for real. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes? So when we say that we're serving you because of love, we have a relationship with that servitude. There's a relationship connected to that servitude. And so when we're setting up these plans for you, it's because we wish they had the plans. And we wish that they have the answers to the questions. And so we don't want to lose another person under our watch in the same way that we've lost the people before us. So let's go through this together. If you please look at your sheets. Yeah? Now, it's a 28-day plan. And the reason why it's a 28-day plan is because once you've figured out the plan, you can then mimic it and you can do it every single 28 days. That means every single month. Once you've figured it out and you've got it correct on your first month, just repeat the pattern over and over and over again. Does that make sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, no, we don't do yes. Because I know when you're cussing your people, you're a lot louder than that, yeah? Right, so are we going to do this, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's commit to it. Right, so, it's a bit hard to read. Whatever is up here, it's on your sheet as well. So if you can't read it here, it's on your sheet. If anything that you've missed here, is on your sheet. Anything you're not sure about here is on your sheet. And feel free to also ask questions as well. I know time is against us, so I'm going to go through this as quick as possible. Yeah? Alright. So, I'm going to skip through this because you can read it right there and just timing as well. I'm mindful of timing. It's 7 pages, I believe, long. Okay? So we're going to go through this. Right. So, it's not just about diabetes alone. It's about dealing with your stress. Because your stress raises your sugar as well. Yeah? It's about your frustration, it's about your doubts, it's about your worry, it's about your mood, it's about your health, it's about your legacy, it's about your family. For example, here's a question for you. How would you want your grandchildren and your children to remember mum and dad? Always moaning or always happy and vibrant? Which one? Happy and vibrant, right? How do you want your children to remember granddad, grandmum, whoever? You want them to remember walking around like I am right now, back pain and arthritis? Or do you want them to remember vibrant and just always in movement? Which one? Okay, so let's exercise that now. Let's put your hands up here, just pump for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Does that make you feel just a bit better, even if it's 1%? Yes? So as we go through this, we're going to just keep pumping every now and then, okay? Because we're in control of our happiness by our movement. Yeah? Right, I love your smile, by the way. You've got such a welcoming smile. Yeah, it's good for you at the front. Yeah. Okay, so week 1. What do we want to do for week 1? It's on your sheets, by the way, so you can refer back to your sheets. Week 1 is about setting clear goals. Why? Because if you get in a taxi and you don't give the taxi man or woman the postcode or the destination, how are you going to get there? Right. So we need to know how to get to our destination. We need to know what our destination looks like. Okay? So first and foremost, what gets measured gets managed. We have to make sure that we write down clear goals that we want in the next 28 days. Okay? Is that agreed? So when you get your sheet, if you want to do it now, you want to do it later, write down what do I want in 28 days concerning my health? What do I want in 28 days concerning my mood? What do I want in 28 days concerning my emotions? What do I want in 28 days in connection to how I want to love and receive love? Because sometimes in life, someone wants to give you a hug and tell you that they love you, but if your face says, don't approach me, then all of a sudden, you're not approachable. That means in that moment, you're not lovable. Are you a beautiful person in the inside? Yes, you are. But sometimes people are also trying to work out, can I love you today, or are you going to be horrible and rude to me? Yeah? So we need to have clear understanding. Okay? A part of that is also to track your blood sugar levels. Why do you want to track your blood sugar levels? Anyone know?
To know what level it's at so that you know how to work with it.
Sorry?
Know your baseline before you start.
Exactly. You need to know where you start. You need to know where you are in order to know where you're going. Because one of my friends recently, one thing about when it comes to blood sugar level, sometimes you don't know until it's too late, when your pressure's too high. Yeah? So this is the reason why we've got to manage our levels and have an understanding of our levels beforehand. We don't want it to creep up in the next, maybe spend the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years of our life fixing a problem that we could have dealt with beforehand. They're very, very, very important. Okay? And then the next part of it is daily mindfulness practices. What do we mean by that? Sometimes having moments of gratitude, like I love my mom to bits. My mom is the most amazing woman on this planet to me. But she complains about things that she shouldn't be complaining about. You know, she's 85 at this time in her life. And there's a difference between my mother and my father. My father's always talking about gratitude, and my mom's always talking about what she doesn't have. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah?
Yes.
And so my mother and my father, their energy is completely different. Just because where your focus goes, your energy flows. Can we say that together? Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you focus on all the bad things that's happening in the world, how does it make you feel? Yeah? If you focus on the fact that you've got loving people around you, you've had an amazing life, yes, you've had your ups and you've had your downs, but you're still here, you're still standing, and you've got people around you that cares about you, what do you focus on? Happiness. So gratitude is the key to defeating anger and depression. Gratitude. So daily, I want you to write down 5 to 10 things that you're grateful for. There's many things that we're not grateful for, like sometimes I'll be honest, like yes, my back is a problem, but I'm grateful for the fact that I still can stand up today and talk to you. So do I focus on the pain or do I focus on the pleasure? Yes? Okay, so this is the reason why in your worksheet you will have daily mindful practices connected to your gratitude. Yeah? Okay, so what's next up? So that's week 1, what I want you to do. Alright, week 2, well, we're going to say week 1, so it's got 7 days. I want you to also, as we spoke about earlier today, is your balanced meals. So in the sheet you can write it down. So it's not something you just need to remember in your head anymore. You can actually write it down and say, for the next 28 days, these are the type of meals I'm going to have. And you turn around and you say to your family members, I'm not being funny, but if you really love me, you really care about me, please don't give me stuff that you know is bad for me, and these are the things that's bad for me. And so I've had that conversation with my mum. My mum's from Jamaica, and every minute she's cooking oily food, and I do love it. And every minute she's cooking the potatoes, and I'm like, Mum, I can't eat it. Seriously, I can't eat it. We need to cut it out now. Because once upon a time, my sister loved it. Once upon a time, my brother loved it. And where are they today? Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? Okay? So, what I want to do is write these all down. Fiber blues, we spoke about the fibers earlier on. As I said, I don't specialize in diabetes, I'm an advocate for it. Okay? If you want to talk more about it in detail, as you've got Francine at the back, you've got Ian at the back, they understand it 1,000 times more than I do. I'm just more about the health of your mind, emotions, spirit, and body. Okay? Alright, then each evening I want you to write down 3 things in your sheet that you're grateful for. Yeah? How I made my mum happy by doing that is she loves her grandchildren. So I'm like, Mum, you clearly don't love me, you love the grandchildren. Okay, let's focus on the grandchildren. Okay? So when she thinks about our grandchildren, it makes her happy. It makes her want to go out. It makes her want to go for walks with them. So if we can find things to be grateful for, then we'll start to move and act accordingly. If we find reasons not to be grateful, then we act and behave accordingly. Okay? Alright. So the next one is to check in with an accountability partner. Does anyone know what accountability partner is by any chance? What's accountability partner? Yes. Exactly. They're going to hold you to account. We all need an accountability partner. That moment when we're going to pick up the potato, that moment we're going to have something sugary, that accountability partner says to you, don't bother. We're not doing that today. Yeah? We all in life need someone that's going to hold us to account. But if we just do it to ourselves and we do it within ourselves, sometimes we lose our discipline. So check in with I want you to find an accountability partner, someone who no matter how much you're going to try and persuade them or lie to them, they know you enough to say, I know what you're doing right now. It could be your daughter, it could be your son, it could be your auntie, it could be your cousin, it could be your sister, it could be your brother. I want you to say to someone who you believe is a good accountability partner, for the next 28 days, I want to achieve this. And if I don't achieve it, or if I'm struggling, I want you to pull me up. Sometimes I'm gonna cuss, sometimes I'm gonna moan, sometimes I'm gonna say, leave me alone. But in those moments, I want you to stand fast because I'm used to sugar. And when I'm not having my sugary moments, I'm gonna be moody. Or I'm used to eating potatoes. And when I'm hungry, I want potatoes first. And so, in order for that to happen, for you to stick on it, I want you to find someone who's going to be your accountability partners. Anyone got anyone in mind already, just thinking about it? Anyone got anyone in mind? No? No one? Okay, well this is what the 360 is about. This is what Leon is here for, this is what Francine is here for. They are your accountability partners. Reach out to them. I don't know, I'm putting it in the spot here. Can they reach out to you to be
Yeah,
accountability?
they've got our cards.
Yes. Okay, so please, after this is finished today, take their details, take their numbers, whatever it may be. I don't know how it works, right? But I want you to say to them, okay, I'm going to write out my plan, and I'm going to present the plan back to you, and I would like you to hold me to account. Maybe once a week I can check in with you, and I can see where I've slipped, and we can have that conversation. Is that a good plan, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes? Yes? Okay, brilliant. So we've got accountability partners, and this is what the 360 is about. It's about not just helping you and disappearing, but being there for you every single day. Yes? Okay. Maybe every single day. Okay, right. So next up is week 2. What do you want to do at first on week 2, and why? Yeah? Movement and exercise. But what's the first thing? The tick box. Why do you want to check your blood sugars again on week 2?
To see what changes have taken place.
Exactly. Do we want to be going up or do we want to be going down?
Going down.
Well, it actually depends, to be honest with you. So it's all about making sure that it's balanced.
Yes.
But sometimes you have low sugar as well. Yeah? So if you're obviously too high, you want to come down. If you're too low, you want to go up.
Yeah.
How do you have to check your bloods?
You've got the glucose monitor that you get from the doctor, so it's a test strip and you prick your finger and do it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or your HbA1c, your HbA1c every 3 months, you can get that checked. 3 to 6 to 9, so you find out where you are. So it's best that after this session, if you haven't checked it recently, to go and get your full blood count, including your diabetes check, and ask them to do that. And then you know where you're starting,
Yeah.
and then you can help knowing that as well. Also.
For everyone that's put their details down on the sheet, we're happy to call each one of them, have a conversation to check that they're getting the right thing done. We'll talk it through them.
It's on that sheet that I gave you, know your numbers. These are the main things that you need to test for. So we'll talk in a minute.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. And this is what community is about. When someone says what's community about, this is community. Where we all come together and we all have the interest of each one of us growing, being happy, make sure we're healthy, make sure that we're loved in the correct way. Okay? Alright, so the first thing we want to do at the start of the week is to check if our blood pressure is correct. Yeah? Okay, the next thing we want to do is have a check throughout the day. Now, Leon and Francine also said some good points. Why do you want to check in the morning and why do you want to check in the evening? Anyone know? Still up for grab. Does anyone know? Exactly. So you want to know, as you're going through the day, what's serving you and what's hindering you. Okay? So if we can find out what's by the morning, I'm like, okay, in the morning it was like this, in the evening it's gone there, it's gone there. So we can then measure what did I eat in the day that has caused this spike or this decline. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, this is why the sheet is so amazing. Trust me, it's a powerful sheet. Right, okay, so next up, 15 minutes of physical activity each day. Why do you want to do exercising each day? Why? A healthy body gives you a healthy mind. And a healthy mind gives you a healthy body. And a healthy mind and a healthy body gives you a healthy outlook on life. Yeah? So can we just do it just for another 10 seconds? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you do for? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or even at the back, I like that. Does that make you feel just a bit more better?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. A healthy mind gives you a healthy body. A healthy body gives you a healthy mind. A healthy mind and body gives you a healthy outlook on life.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, brilliant. Alright, next up. So, what your portion size is.
Yeah.
Right, once again, I come from a household where the food starts there, and by the time my mom finishes stacking it, it's up here.
Yes.
Okay, we all come from that household, yeah? Because guess what? within our communities, right, within our families, within the lineage of our loved ones, we express love by how much food we give as well. But sometimes the amount of food we receive is not good for our health. So now we're in a conflict of interest. Love is killing us. Yeah? Okay? So we want to watch our portion sizes. And we want to change that narrative. We want to change that culture. Yeah? Okay? Right. So next up is mindful pre-meal breathing. So, do you know what I realized about myself? And please correct me if I'm the only one, or you've also been a part as well. Have you ever found yourself sometimes holding your breath without realizing? Yes or no? Hands up. Yeah? Okay. Do you know where that comes from? Sometimes that comes from stress. Sometimes that comes from anticipating things. Sometimes that comes from worry. Sometimes we're upset and we're holding our breath and it's causing us health problems as well. So let's try to breathe together for a second. As soon as we're mindful of it, yeah, through the mouth, out the nose, okay? Let's take some deep breaths. Anytime you're upset or you're stressed or you're worried, this is what you do. 5 of them. Ready? After 3, 1, 2, 3. In through the nose. Release. Good. Through the nose again. That's 2. In through the nose again. 3. One more time. Don't do it because you're sleeping. Okay, you just try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't sleep again, I'm going to take a picture.
Does that make you feel just a bit more calmer?
Yes.
So you see that? Just by controlling your breath, you can control your mood. Yeah? So in one way, if we're upset, we can pump. In the other way, if we want to calm it down, we can breathe. Right? That means no one's in control of our world except us. Yeah? Okay, so next up, checking in with your accountability partner. Why do we want to check in with our accountability partners? Why do we want to do that? Anyone?
To keep you encouraged and
Yes, keep you on track, keep you accountable to your mission and your goal. Okay? Yes, and to keep you motivated as well. Yeah? Because we all need motivation. Sometimes it's hard. We're in our own environments. We've got things going on. We forget sometimes. So we all need accountability partners. Yeah? I know that Francine was checking you on time. Yeah?
It's okay, carry on.
Yeah?
We got an extension.
Okay, we good? Alright. So, alright. Then once again, we do the blood pressure check. Okay?
The blood pressure, you can go to your doctors or your pharmacy to get it done. Some of you may have to monitor it at home as well, that you can do. But if you want to if you leave here and you want to know what your blood pressure is, you can go to the pharmacy. They do it for free. If you can't get in, and most doctor surgery has the plug that you do it by yourself. And if you don't know how to do it, ask the reception to show you how to use the weight and the machine that does it for you.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. Once again, I don't want to talk too much on this because I'm not a professional in this field, but this is just once again a guide of what you should be eating, what you should be eating, what you should be mindful of if you slip in that moment, okay? So instead of trying to remember it in your mind, it's on your sheet. Refer back to your sheet every day. Keep referring back to it until it becomes second nature, okay? All right, so this is a task for 28 days. How many of you know each other in this environment, by the way? I don't know if you just, yeah? Okay, so I also want you all to hold each other to account as well. This is how us as a community work. Exchange numbers and just say like, listen, I'm checking in with you. I know you was a bit down the other day, I'm checking in with you. So just kind of like have that community connection as well. Now you have a reason to it. Just say to me, listen, how are you doing with your sheep? Because I kind of slipped yesterday, anything you want me to account. So please, just also connect and communicate as well, if you can, okay? All right, so, as I said, continue tracking your blood sugar is so important, right? Share your wins with your accountability partner. Why do you want to share your wins? Why do you want to celebrate in moments?
To encourage your partner and really to who's your own spirit and that you are keeping up.
Exactly. I used to suffer from that. I used to suffer from being a perfectionist. And I always used to say, when I buy my house, I'll be happy. When I win my whatever, I'm gonna be happy. When I buy my car, I'm gonna be happy. But now, let's say it takes me 5 years to buy my car or to buy my house. So how sad am I for? How many years? 5 years. How frustrated? How many years am I going to be frustrated for? 5 years. So do you believe we should celebrate at every small win? Yes? Okay? Are we all guilty of delaying our celebrations because we want to celebrate at the end of the rainbow? Yes? Okay. And so that's where sometimes we become frustrated and we become sad because we're not celebrating soon enough. We should celebrate at every small win. Like, oh my gosh, my blood pressure's in a good place. This is good. This is good. I didn't eat carbs today. I didn't eat sugar today. This is good. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins. Okay? Alright. So, we're almost there, by the way. It's all on your sheet, so you can follow the sheet through. Okay? Alright, so building consistency and reducing stress. This is week 3. Okay? Because you are going to become a bit more stressful because you just change your whole routine. Maybe your routine, what you've been doing, has been going on for 50 years. Okay, now I'm asking you to change it in 28 days. So, you want to reduce your stress, okay? So once again, your meal planning, prepping your meals, choose diabetes-friendly meals and snacks. So what that means is this as well. This is what I want you to do. I don't know if you live with people, you live by yourself, I don't know. But sometimes you've got to say to your family members, please don't buy that, because when it's in the cupboard, I'm going to have a moment in the middle of the night and I'm going to have some. Yeah? Okay? Alright? So, have a clear out, because if it's in front of you, you're going to eat it. And then you're going to say, oh, I'll start my diet again tomorrow. Alright? So, if you can, get rid of the stuff that's not healthy. And also, ask your family members, just kind of bribe them and say, if you love me, you're going to do this, because I'm trying to be as healthy as possible right now, okay? Alright? So make sure you prep your meals, make sure that your environment is nice and clean and friendly when it comes to foods that are going to serve you and help you.
Have you got a sample diet in your book or anywhere that you could be starting with?
That's a good question, and in the book I don't have, it's more about moods and emotions, etc. So anything to do with the moods and emotions and how you should think and behave, that's more in the book. But on the sheet, it's got some on the sheet. And as I said, Leon and Francine, they are they are the professionals.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's in this, okay.
Okay.
There's still recipes and there's a few other bits, you know,
Okay.
you need to.
Feel free to take one, totally free.
Yeah.
I will give them out.
Brilliant question, thank you for that as well. So yeah, if you get one of those as well,
Yeah.
the booklet books, that will help you in your adventure. Let's not call it a journey. Journey sounds like a journey. Let's call it your adventure, okay? Alright, so next, we're going to be finished soon, and I know you've been here for a while. Alright, so midweek reflection, just reflecting what's working and what's challenging for you. There's all in the sheet once again, okay? Next up is your daily journal. So write down any thoughts or worries before bed. Why do you want to write that? This is a very good one, by the way. Why do you want to write down certain things before bed?
To release your morning.
Yes. Sorry? Yes. So all of you are correct, by the way. There's a science to it. Yeah. People who know how to deal with stress and worry write down what stresses them, what worries them before they go to bed. So the mind doesn't store it and you sleep in the stress and worry on your mind. You wake up with stress and worry on your mind, and then all of a sudden you've got to move all through the day because stress and worry on your mind. So if you release it, then you've got space for new things to come into your mind and you're now taking us more happier. Okay? So write it down. Alright? So I think there should be space in your journal, in your book, where you can just write down what's going on. Next up, reach out to your accountability partners. It's just going to be repeating itself because we don't want too much new things. So this is week 3, then we'll be going on to week 4. And I'm just going to race through this, by the way, so we can get through some questions. Same thing once again, so I don't need to go over it over and over again. You understand what I'm saying to you? Make sure you watch what you drink, that they're not sugary. 3 minutes of breathing like what we've done before. And once again, we're going to go to the 4th week. So this is week 4. Same thing again, I don't need to repeat it. Alright? And what have we got here? Yeah, I'm going to just race through this. It's all just repeating itself, basically. And as I said, your accountability partners. The back of it just simply just shows you what you should be doing and all the rest of it. So I want to say thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Listen, I just really respect you all in all different ways. You know, the fact that you've turned up today, a lot of people like, I can't be bothered. So just I want to thank you for turning up first and foremost. And also as well, I can see that you've got a quest for just having a healthier life, a better life. And we will do it, but we will only do it as a community, yeah? So we are a community, and as I said, I will also say thank you for the organisers you can have the space in the room today. Who am I thanking exactly?
She's not here, she's not coming back.
The whole,
Yeah.
everyone, and Joe Ibrahim
coming back.
of taxes.
Sorry?
Joe Ibrahim also to be London Quadrant and all the people. So, yeah,
It's a collaboration, yeah. So I want to say, because also people that work here as well, you know, behind the scenes, they're doing so much for our community as well. You know, so I just want to say thank you. Any questions before we finish up? I still don't know who to give the book to. Yeah.
I think you should put everybody's name in the hat, and that's my opinion.
But there's one
I
thing.
want that book. Or I have it on my, I already, I got it on my,
There's something I want to say.
I'll put something out and sign it.
Is it right? 2.
I think you should put everybody's name, I got it in my Amazon, I want that book.
So we had 1 winner, we had 2 winners, and then we had some others that were correctors.
Well, what you have done here today, some things we are already doing, so people should find it very encouraging and very
Yes.
very much easier to do. In this hub, we already started deep breathing and relaxation. So when you were doing it, we were able to follow that.
No wonder you know, just like, yeah, this is easy.
No. And then the other thing, we've already started looking at some of the things we're eating. We covered the brain just 2 weeks ago, and every pardon? Yeah, when you bring it in, yeah. And there are many things that we have in mind to complete. So this has really boosted.
Oh, thank you. Oh, God bless. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, thank you so much. Any
Chris,
questions for
you
us?
say
More than
something.
Leo or Francine, want to ask any questions at all? Yeah, Leo.
You're saying something.
Yes. Oh, sorry. No, I am planning to go there.
Because they say in 4 years running, Finland is a health institute.
Yes, it is. You're correct.
And I follow on the newspaper
Yeah.
where I think it's our day, and I was every year they do that.
Yes.
And at one time, I was saying, who can I talk to make Lewisham one of those happy things?
Oh, that.
No.
Yes. Wish you well. For yourself, that is not me. So thank you very much. I'll leave you. Also, I've got some copies here today, but also away from that, it's on Amazon. But if you've got it with me, I can sign it on Amazon. I don't get signed because it comes from their own storage centers. Yeah. 15 for the paperback. Yeah. But it's got work. Do you know like how you've got worksheets there? This book actually got worksheets when it comes to all different parts of your life as well, your mood, your emotion, So it's like 500 pages more in depth of how to mentor it. And it also looks at all the occupations and how to navigate the stress and the trauma and the pressure of those occupations as well. So yeah, I'll be over, I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you very much.
There was another question I wanted to ask.
Yeah?
If we, the book,
Yeah?
I haven't seen you, but I'm supposed to call you. If you want, I've got to go. Yeah, no problem.